submit all at once, all the modules, all the faculty. So some of you have asked me whether we can get the markings. You will get it soon. But don't worry, because the exams and the assignment, they are two separate things. The assignment is really about writing. I wanted to see how you write. But the exams will be all based on your manuals. Les deux manuels là. All based on the manual. So master your manuals. If you have any problems in your manual right now, we will discuss it. We will clarify your doubts on the manuals. Otherwise, I will tell you to revise, work out your manuals, work out the questions. Let's discuss where the difficulty is. And then, because setting an exam paper on academic literacy is quite tricky for us as well, for me as well as a lecturer. I had to be very careful what I need to put as questions. And I have sent the paper to the university. They haven't yet got back to me with an approval. Okay, so they're still moderating that paper. Okay, but sometimes I don't know what they will come up with. This week I will get feedback on it. Okay, hopefully. There is a moderator, Mrs. Goura. Mrs. Goura is looking after that. All right. Now, Mrs. Goura has requested me to review the paper to put choices, because I set all questions as you have to do it, but she has come up with a very good idea there to give the learners choices for questions. So that one too, I am considering. I'm still admitting students in. Now, you will see that I have sent the Zoom link. That is my own personal one, because the other one, I'm not having access to it somehow. I don't know why. So this one is my personal account. Okay. So we are not using the university one. All right, so everyone is here. 77, 78 members. What we are going to do is a revision today. And I was just speaking with the other class, just finished now. It's a quick revision on both manuals. Okay. Right. Because we haven't covered the unit 3 and 5 completely, I will go through it. And then we will go back to manual 1. Manual 1, we have done it a lot of time. In fact, manual 1, we've used it on writing the assignment, okay? How to do sentence construction, etc. Okay? And here we have listening. So we have seen that listening sometimes it's quite difficult for each and every one of us. The way we listen is different. How I can listen, how much do I listen in, let's say, 10 minutes? And how much Ashna or Anat is listening in 10 minutes? We are not the same. We are not the same. Maybe Ashna has got more information that the speaker has said. She has been able to grab a lot. Sorry, while maybe Anat has grabbed just a little bit of information. And like maybe I have just like, I listened, but I didn't understand anything. So what is stopping us from really listening? Each and every one of us have our different potential skill of listening. Because we must admit at school, no one has ever come up with a book, say, okay, you are getting your book, mathematics, English, French, and this is your listening book. No, nobody has come up with a book like this. We went to school, we were listening to our teachers, we went to college, we listened, we went to university, now today you are here, and there is one chapter in your academic literacy, listening. You say, what is this? Listening? I am listening. What's wrong with my listening? Well, we want you to be practicing active listening. Active listening Like I sent you the slides, you can go for it. Active listening is really being here, being present. I'm muting certain of you. Being present fully in the now. In the now, here, every second you're listening to me. Now, sometimes we feel bored. Sometimes we feel like our mind is wandering. You're thinking, what am I going to cook tonight? Who is coming at my place tonight as guest? I have to receive guests this evening. Or we need to go out for shopping. All the prices in the shops have gone up. I need to go and buy the stuff for the house. Okay, so you're thinking about all this, and when I'm explaining here, so you're not listening to me, right? So if your mind tend to wander, you need to bring it back to here, and that is called mindfulness visit. Mindfulness, every professional, I would say, you can practice mindfulness. Even students, you can practice mindfulness. I'm not talking about meditation. Franchement, vous dire, moi-même, je ne sais pas comment faire la méditation. Je n'ai pas appris ça. Je ne sais pas. So I will not talk about meditation. Certain of you might know, you know what is how do you practice it? Then you can talk about it. I don't know how to do it. I will not even mention it, okay? But one thing that I can do, and I see it helps me to focus. It's mindfulness. Là, ma pécose méditation, c'est mindfulness, c'est quoi? I just do a test with myself here, okay? I am still, and I control my thoughts. I control what I'm thinking. I don't want to think about anything. Can you do that? Stop your mind from thinking. Stop thinking. Arrête penser. Okay? Just stay still. The moment you start hearing a noise and your mind is going there, what is it? The moment it's asking you, what is it? Is that a car? Is that a lorry? What is that sound? Means I am thinking. But I don't want to do that. That is why you have to practice it in a quiet, silent place, maybe early, very early in the morning when you wake up. You just sit down, you just relax, sit in the position. They say the spine has a great effect on you, the way your body is, you are breathing. Your spine must be straight, okay? No, your spine, it helps you to breathe at the same time. So you breathe normally, normal. Maybe in meditation, you have a special way of breathing, but here, normal breathing. Only you are controlling your thinking. So that will help you to stay focused, means you can stay still. You can focus, right? So this is mindfulness. Most of the CEOs of big companies, there is a book called The Mindfulness of the CEO, of the Busy People, Mindfulness of Busy People, okay? And there you will see great CEOs, great companies, they practice mindfulness. Even at work, you can practice that. If you have your lunchtime, after your lunchtime, you go and sit in a quiet corner and you're just relaxing. You're not sleeping. You're just practicing mindfulness. You don't want to get distracted. Okay, so this is something that I can tell you because I do it and I see it works. It helped me stay, like, your mind can focus. You don't get distracted with every little thing that is going around you. Even if you hear a sound, it doesn't distract you. You're focused. Okay, and this has helped me a lot. My students even tell me, Miss, how do you do that? You don't even stop. You keep going on with the lectures. We have to stop you to say, we want a break. I said, yes, okay, because I'm so focused into it. So practice that. It will help you stay focused. And when you are in lectures, you need to listen. Now, how do you listen? What is the technique of listening? Right now, everyone is in the comfort of your house. You are comfortable in your house, okay? But that doesn't mean your family is not kind of like automatically, I'm not saying they're making noise, but they might be doing something. Anyway, you're in your house. No one can stop you from doing what you want. But at the same time, we are minimizing the noise. We are saying to our children, please do not come in the room because I'll be on lecture. We are trying to tell our family, don't make the noise in the kitchen, etc. What are you doing? you're eliminating distraction, which is a good thing to allow you to listen to the lecture. In the place of work, you are at a meeting, you need to listen to your manager, whoever is presenting. Of course, even if you've just had an issue with one of your colleagues or manager himself, when you sit in that meeting, you have to be focused on the meeting. How do you detach? How do you detach from the routines? Je peux imaginer quand on est au travail, il y a tant de choses qui viennent, emails, téléphone, colleagues coming and knocking on your door, asking this, asking that. How do you block your time? It becomes very difficult, but still you have to manage, and we have to manage, because otherwise we will end up doing nothing in our work. We won't be able to complete what is needed to be completed in a day. So how do you manage that? We are faring quite well, despite we are stressed, but even now in the lectures, it's the same thing. Eliminate distraction, staying focused. Now you are listening to me. Some of you might be taking notes. Some of you might not be taking notes. But rest assured that if you don't take notes, the session is closed. You go back. So what did I learn today? Yeah, she was speaking about eliminating distraction, blah, 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 blah. Okay? And if you have taken notes, you are more able to track the learning. Yes or no? So it is good in lectures to be able to stay on track with your listening. Take notes. Take notes. Okay? Right? Now, listening strategies, we have it on your manual here, as you can see. Top-down strategies. Okay? Top-downs means before the lecture, you predict. Yes, Dikshina, you've raised your hand. You have a question?
Oui, madame. Est-ce que vous êtes en train de share screen? Parce qu'on voit toujours Unit 1 et 2 sur notre écran.
I am sharing. Maybe it's frozen. Let me do it again. Merci to give me this, because in my screen I can scroll it, but if you don't see it now.
Yes, now it is okay.
Thank you. So listening strategies, we have two listening strategies. One is top down, the other one is bottom up. Alors, disons que next you are having a lecture, I don't know on which module, and the lecturer has completed one set of lectures last session, and now you know what is coming next. So you know, because you have a manual, or you know what is coming next. So go ahead, you have a plan of work, an MIP as we call it. Okay, the MIP is like the plan of work. Okay, here we have a manual, so we just followed the manual. We have 5 chapters. We have followed 5 chapters in 5 sessions. Okay, one session today is revision. I'll be just briefing a little bit on every part of those manuals. What is it? If you're prepared, means you prepare the lecture before the lecture session, prior to the lecture session. It means you have an added points there, because you know what is, if I say listening strategies, if you have read this chapter, you know what I'm talking about. So your listening interest is even more aroused by because you are prepared. You want to listen. If whatever you have prepared, is it correct to what the lecturer is saying? Or if you see any kind of gap, you will ask questions. But if you're not prepared, that is why we cannot ask questions. Sometimes students, they have no questions. It's not that they do not have questions. It's because they are not well prepared to ask the questions. They cannot situate where a question might crop up for them. And we lecturers, we know that. Therefore, if you're prepared, the top-down listening strategies is you prepare before you go, you are in a better position to listen. The other one is bottom-up listening. Of course, it is whatever you're listening now, you are going to take it up to the lecturer. Okay, listen for keywords, louder words, etc. Are you trying to understand everything when someone is speaking? Concentrate and try to make sense of the information communicated instead of trying to understand and evaluate in your own mind. Cross-check in your own mind. See, a total focus allows you to listen more. If I'm speaking now, you're trying to, when I said, if you have read the manual on listening strategies, now you're listening to me, you would be able to relate. Then it means you are listening to me. Imagine now you haven't read the listening strategy. Some of you saying, hey, listening strategies, where is that? The moment you're thinking, what is listening strategies? Where is it? I haven't read it. You're shocked. You haven't read it. You have missed my message. Be mindful. Whatever you get distracted from the current, what is going on here, you won't be able to do two things at a time. Okay, so stay focused. And what is the top-down and bottom-up listening strategies? Here it is. Now, in my slides, I've given you the techniques for effective listening. Number one is like to listen. The like to listen is one technique. I'm not saying like the person who is speaking or dislike the person who is speaking. I'm saying like to listen. Therefore, it means whoever is the one speaking, this has nothing to do with whether you like the person or not, but you are coming with that attitude of listening and liking to listen. It means vous aimez à écouter. Okay? You like to listen. So if you do not like to listen, for me, it's like, oh my God, how can I listen for so long? You need to start developing that habit of listening. Okay? Like to listen means you develop the liking, just like you develop a liking for anything in your life. Suppose you say, I want to play tennis. But how do I play tennis? I've never played tennis, but I like tennis. I like this game. You have a liking for it, now you go and do it. Same way. I don't like listening, but now being a university learner, I am doing a course there. I need to pass that course so that I can get a promotion on my work. Listening is a must. I must develop the habit of listening. How do I do it? Okay, start liking to listen. Start liking. See the good thing in liking. So today you start practicing listening. Oh, my lecturer came up with a topic that was totally new to me, but I tried to listen carefully what he said, and now I am enjoying it because I can understand that topic. I can understand that topic because I have listened to him carefully. I have started to practice listening. Like listening. The other one is when you're listening, you are in the same way, you are what? Trying to relate your knowledge to whatever you're listening. That keeps you track in the track of listening. So suppose you know about communication, you know what is PR for those who are doing PR and communication, you know what is marketing, okay? You know what are the 4 Ps, all right? And your lecturer today is coming to strategies on the 4 Ps, how companies strategize to build up those 4 Ps so that they can do great in marketing. What is happening here? You have read about the 4 Ps and your lecturer is coming up with strategies. That's where you can set questions because you understand what are the 4 Ps and you understand what is a strategy. How do you link both? How do we link both? And that's where you can ask questions because you are prepared. That's where you will listen carefully, because you will listen carefully because you want to know more, because you already know a little bit, and now you have been given more information about it and you want to know more. So that encourages you to listen. So evaluating, sorry, and also trying to listen, and then now linking to your knowledge, evaluating what you're getting as information, that to allow you to stay on track with listening in lectures. So prepare and like to listen, avoid distraction, eliminate distractions. And what are the other techniques? You got my slides, no? Have you been able to have a look at it? It's only yesterday I uploaded it. So if you haven't, we will go to the techniques of listening. What else is on the list? It is, how do you compare, contrast, and critique when you are listening? Not only when you're writing, we do the phrases, even when you're listening. And that when you're doing that, you are keeping track of listening. Okay, right now, I'm saying, what is the next? What is the other techniques? You're listening. Now you're questioning yourself. What are the other techniques? Okay, if you don't know it, you don't have it now, no problem. What I'm saying is, how do you evaluate? How do you comment? How do you compare, contrast, critique? It is based on your knowledge. Now, let's say you went to listen to a politician, right? And politician. Now, you know what politicians are. You know how they are, okay? Now, the politician comes and says, okay, we are going to do this for the country. We are going to do this for the country, right? And what is happening? You remember that politician. Last year, you went to listen to him. He said the same thing. And this year, he's saying the same thing, okay? And what are you doing? Say, last year he said this, and now he's saying the same thing. Is that stopping you from listening? No, you are evaluating, you're comparing, contrasting. Oh, maybe that politician have really done his job. Okay, last year he said he will put a recreational center for the community, for the region here, and that is in place today. Okay, now he comes and says he's going to do a football playground for our young people here, and you are comparing. Oh, last year he said he will put the recreational ground. He's done it. Okay, and now the playground. What are you doing? You're comparing, you're contrasting. Or if he hasn't done anything, you're starting to criticize even. Say, he's just a good talker, a good speaker, but he's an action taker. He's doing nothing. Okay, so you're evaluating, you're comparing, you're contrasting while listening. That is, you're practicing listening. What else can you do to listen more? When you listen, eventually, if you sit down and just do this, I said, okay, I look at you. I see you in the same position. I see you same way, or you're doing like this, or you're doing like this. Okay. So,
I'm looking for the lady in the white sari.
What do you want with it?
Would be
can you mute yourself, please? We can hear your conversations. Is it not right? All right, done. Now, what is about body language? Body language. You have heard body language when we're speaking. Right now, you don't see me full, but I'm seated, yet my facial expression, my hand gestures, sometimes you can see my hands, or sometimes even that part of my body, the upper part of my body is really conveying my message. Because at times I'm not just sitting and talking like this. I am moving, I am doing my facial expression, I'm using my eye contact with you through the camera, okay? And you know that I want to connect with you. I want to make my message go through to you. Body language, we can say it, okay? But how about when we are listening? Do we use body language? When you're listening, practice active listening through your body language. What does that mean? When the speaker is speaking, you are looking at the speaker. You are nodding, okay? You are showing facial expressions. You're smiling. When you are not too agreeable, you're frowning a little bit, okay? So I can see that. Oh, you don't agree. I get the message. It means you're listening because you're reacting to me. You're reacting. Malheureusement, toutes les caméras sont off. Certains d'entre vous, you keep your camera on. Thank you very much. Okay. Nicoline always keep her camera on. And who else? Yes, I have a few of you. You keep your camera on. I saw a gentleman here, Jawid. Ça va? Okay. Good to see you smiling, seated very well. And Nicoline as well. And who else? Would be good to connect with you like this. But the rest of you, maybe you're at home. I can't impose on you to put your camera on, but make sure you are here, you are listening to me. So when you listen with your facial expression, Nilam, this is a photo. I thought it was you. Sarita also has a photo. Okay, so you have a profile photo. Shannon, is that your photo or you are looking at me? No, it's your photo, right? Nieven has put something like a cartoon. Okay, all right. Most of you have your camera is off. Fine. But when you're in your lecture sessions, if your lecturer asks you to put your camera on, please do it. Do not hesitate. And it's a good habit when you attend a class. Why should you hide behind the camera? At the beginning, I mentioned that. But I see many students, they don't follow through. They don't follow. But being present fully, it's a good sign, Wizard. It gives a good impression of you, like you are here, you are present, you are listening. Even if you're not speaking, you're here. You see? And what is it more interesting to see the person to whom you are speaking, whom you are listening? Okay? We connect. Why people? We are all people, we must connect. Okay, so even with your lecturer. Now, if the lecturer is not putting his camera on, that's another thing. But I always leave my camera on when I'm doing lectures because I can do lectures behind the camera. I am hidden. No. So even when you're at work, today we do a lot of online meetings, n'est-ce pas? Avec COVID, tout ça, we work from home. Online meeting have become like a normal thing today. It's normal. Banks, institutions, even the public sector, the government, those offices, they've done online meetings a lot during the COVID pandemic period. And even now, we do online meeting a lot. And if we switch off the camera, I don't think this gives a good impression. Okay? So when you listen with your body language. Using the body language, we listen. Now, have you ever been to a meeting and certain people are really leaning forward from their chair? Okay, the chair, they're leaning forward, they do this. Okay, they are giving, the speaker automatically know that this person is kind of like showing a lot of interest by his body language. Or he's even like, every time he's like wanting to ask questions. So this person, immediately you will know, wow, I am expecting a question on me now as a speaker. So these kind of signs, you get the signs. For the speaker is good, for the listener as well, it is good. There is interaction, there is communication going in between. Okay, so we listen with our body language. And it is said that the body speaks louder than your words. Body language speaks louder than your words. By just a sign, you can understand. Okay, if I do different signs here, you will be able to get the message. Okay, so our signs, if I say this, it means the session is over. Okay, session is over. I say, I want everyone to be quiet. Okay? I'm not saying anything. Okay? But just the body language conveys the message clearly. That is why body language is more important with it. Whenever you are going to do a presentation, you do speaking, you have to make sure you're using the right body language. Now, we are not going to dig deep into that, but there is in your manual 3.5 just now, after listening, there is speaking. Speaking is very important. Okay, not only at professional level, but before that at university. Okay, so the techniques is listening with the body language, eliminating distraction. There are 9 in all, so let me go back to that, because seriously, all 9 is not coming on in my mind straight away right now. So I'm going to just show that slide very quickly, and then we'll move on to the speaking part quickly. Of course, the last part of the manual here, it is on essay writing, which you have already done. Now, the proper essay writing is about how do you write your assignment in your other modules. The subject module, the one that you love to do. That's why you enroll for that course. Okay? You use academic literacy blended with the content of your module, then you become really great in writing great assignment. If you leave academic literacy aside and you are trying to explain the content of your module, it's not coming out as a fully blended, well-constructed assignment, because everything is based on academic literacy with it. We use academic English, we use paraphrasing, we use summarizing, we use references, we use quotations. Okay? We avoid being subjective. We avoid using our own opinion. We use passive voice instead of the active. This is all what you have learned, not only all, but more. There is more to learn in academic literacy. Then you go into the content of your module, whether it is business management, whether it is, I don't know what the module you have. Then you are equipping your module with the academic literacy knowledge, how you write. So it's very important to apply academic literacies to the module that you are studying. Okay, now, what is it? It was notes, slide notes on session 4. So slides notes, session 4. Okay, so very quickly. Yeah. Yes. So we come to the 9 techniques. Okay, you have it. Like to listen, ignore distractions, summarize what the speaker is saying. So every time when we listen, we are writing notes. When we are writing notes, we are summarizing what the speaker has said. Yes?
Désolée de déranger, mais je crois que votre écran est bloqué encore.
C'est bloqué. Attendez. Hein. Wait. Because this laptop is on 24 hours. Oh my God. All right. Here we go. The 9 techniques. And I'm giving you the tips. Like to listen means you develop the liking for listening. Okay? Now you can see. All right. Thank you for the feedback. Okay. The like to listen means you develop the liking for listening. Ignore distractions means, of course, before my session starts, I will try to tell all my family members to please keep your conversation volume a bit low. Don't make noise. If you have kids, especially, it's very difficult to control the kids. They will make noise. But me, I don't mind your kids come and is in the room, is in a room with you. I don't mind. But maybe you yourself, you would say it's better not to make the noise, okay? Because you're in the comfort of your home. Sometimes we have to do with whatever limitations we are facing, okay? But ignore distractions means, of course, you will eliminate all kind of distractions. Let's say your neighbor is making some noise, you will try to close the window, okay? In the lecture room, your lecturer is there for 2 hours, okay? And we are trying to complete as maximum possible in that 2 hours. Now, if we are disturbed, like sometimes, if you are friends here, they don't mute themselves. That's netiquette. Netiquette, it's in your manual. What is netiquette? Etiquettes on the net. You have etiquettes, but how do you differentiate between etiquettes and netiquettes? Netiquettes is everything about online, networking, on the net. Zoom platform today is a norm. It has become a norm. If you are a professional, if you're a student and you don't understand what is Zoom, là, il y a un problème là. Hein? So Zoom is just a normal way of doing meetings today. And sometimes we don't have to remind our members to keep yourself muted. You will unmute yourself when you are speaking. You will let the audience know that when you are leaving the room, you can leave it on the chat message. Sometimes the chat is disabled so as to avoid distraction from the meeting. And the netiquette is also when you're presenting yourself on the screen, of course, it's good to have the right setting, the right background, okay? So we can see you, and then we can see you well, okay, your face, your upper part of your body. When you are speaking, your hand gestures can come up and then your hands are down, okay? So these are netiquettes. Of course, you will not eat your burgers here in front of me, okay? That is not correct. If you want to eat, probably you can switch off your camera, but are you allowed to eat in a meeting? All these are netiquettes, okay? So of course, an online meeting is just like a face-to-face meeting. So if you're meeting with your lecturers, your camera is on, of course, we are expecting the right behavior, the right actions behind the screen, okay? And it is good not to leave your seat every time, walking when your camera is on a meeting. So this is all netiquettes. That is in your manual, okay? Who knows, you can get a question, huh? Differentiate between etiquettes and netiquettes. You must be able to write on this, okay? So in the lecture, online, ignore distractions. Even if I'm moving too much, I'm walking, it is a distraction for the rest of the audience. You see? Summarize what the speaker is saying. Right now, so far, I have spoken about speaking, about a lot of things. So if you're listening carefully, you're taking notes. So you just come down, you look at your notes. Okay, you summarize, you put ticks, you put the key points, you're summarizing. Every time I'm speaking, after 10 minutes, you're listening, you summarize. 10 minutes, you're summarizing what has been said. Okay, quickly jotting down. That's what is summarizing. Learn to tame your emotions. Alors, ça c'est quoi? Learn to tame your emotions. No matter what, in a brainstorming group session, discussion, in a meeting, you might not like what the other person has said. You might not like the opinion, the argument, the suggestion the other person is making on the table of that meeting. You might not like your lecturers, what they are saying. You might disagree. You're feeling upset. You don't like his comment. You don't like the way he's talking to you. You might not like it. But at that time, what do? You snap and you start shouting? No, you will keep your cool. Tame your emotions, only to be able to listen to the right information at that time. Information is timely. One of the characteristics of good information, it is purposeful, it has a purpose, it is timely, it is relevant. Okay? Right? So these are the qualities of good information. Timely information is information that should be grabbed at the time. It's timely, means given at this time. Today, I'm speaking about listening in detail. It's timely. If you miss this, you're missing a lot, right? So information is timely. These are the characteristics of information. So make sure you tame your emotions. Even if I am upset, even if I am feeling sad, I am on the point of crying. Even if I am so happy, excited, I want to burst out laughing, but I'm still keeping my cool to listen to the lecturer, to listen. Because if I burst out laughing, I am not listening. Okay? It's the same. So tame your emotions, right? Stay in control. Eliminate hasty judgments. Now, this is something that I get from students very often. I'll tell you. Let's say I'm explaining, and I get somebody said, no, you know, miss, this is like this. Okay, I believe that the way you're saying this, sometimes it's not the way it is. It's a hasty judgment. Hastily, the person just stopped me and tell me something. But what is it? I was about to explain. I was on the way to explain that. Then I'll say, okay, yes, I agree, but listen to me. I will explain that in a minute. See, avoid making hasty judgment. Listen to the speaker. When the speaker has finished, then you can ask questions. You have a burning question hanging in your mind while the speaker is speaking, note it down. Note it down. Pas arrête speaker là. Don't stop the speaker. Don't interrupt. Do not interrupt a speaker. Do not interrupt the lecturer. The lecturer will have a pause at some point. Il peut arrêter là. Il finit, explique-tu? Il explique ça, ce chapitre-là, comment ça se fait? Then you have noted down your question. You have a question for him, but you don't stop the lecturer and say, but how is that? You have a question. In all due respect, the lecturer must answer to your question. The timing, when do I set the question? That is the key. When do I set the question? Maybe my question, the timing, I would stop him now, but as soon as he has explained that part, just did, before my question, he was about to explain that to me. There were no need for a question there. So listen carefully means let the person finish, and then you ask questions, then you interrupt. Would it be okay to interrupt? Maybe there's a time when there will be questions. You are allowed to ask questions. Ask questions. Q&As. Okay? Right now I'm explaining, you might have questions. I will ask you, do you have any questions? I always do that. In my lectures, I always ask my learners, do you have a question for me? Any question? Then bombard me with questions that you have listed. Okay? Right? And that will be fun because we have explained. Now, after that, we have concrete questions that will get you concrete answers. You get good answers when you ask good questions. Good questions, right? So learn to tame your emotions. Don't make hasty judgments. Like, let's say you have gone on a seminar and you see the speaker coming with a yellow jacket. Okay? Right at that moment, you start either laughing or either making some kind of judgment in your mind. Okay? Now, what is happening? The speaker is coming with a yellow coat, but he's going to speak about something very serious. Okay? What happened now? You are in the mood of really making fun of that speaker. You are in a judgmental state. Okay? And We are human. Sometimes we do that, right? And what is happening now? You are not very keen to listen to that speaker. You are losing it. You are creating some barriers in listening. Okay? So avoid that. Never interrupt and always, oops, sorry. Here it is. Never interrupt and always listen. Then you ask questions. Inspire openness in the speaker. It only means when you inspire openness in the speaker means you are listening attentively, you're nodding, you're showing me your interest, you are using your body language, your facial expression inspires me to share more. Okay, so most of you have cameras off. Never mind. I am inspired by what I do. I am also inspired by having a number here. 95 learners are here. So I am inspired by this number. Okay, no matter if you're behind the camera, those who are in front with your camera on, thank you. And I am inspired. Inspire openness means I am open to share. Now, if you give me judgmental looks, if you give me, you have your camera on and you're just like this, what is happening? I am a bit conscious. I'm not a bit conscious. I'm very aware of your facial expression, etc. Now, I am an experienced speaker. I would not pay attention to someone who is giving me negative looks, who is giving me negative facial expressions, who is giving me some kind of, disagreement, expressing some disagreement in his body language or her body language. The attention for me will go to those who are showing interest. But certain speakers, what happens is they are caught up by that one negative, negative impression. And what happened now? They forget about all the 100 people who are keen to listen to them. They started paying attention to that one person who's really not agreeing. By just the body language, we see it. What happened now? The speaker closes off. He closes off completely. And an experienced speaker will never do that. But we have certain people who don't have the experience. They don't have the experience in speaking in front of big crowds. And these kind of things distract them. Okay? So for the speaker as well, it is important to see that the other side is listening, right? So inspire openness. That listener didn't inspire openness in the speaker. The speaker closed off by just the body language, seeing the disagreement coming from there. But as human, we tend to be inclined to go towards the negative, no? We are more concerned about, oh my God, why is he behaving like, why is he showing me this? But you are forgetting about 100 people here wanting to listen to you. So being experienced, okay, fine. One person can disagree. It's his right, his choice, but the rest are very keen to listen to me. I am opening myself to the 100 people. Okay. So inspire openness through your listening skills. From your body language, you can inspire the speaker to tell you more. Acknowledge the need to listen. You need to listen. If you don't need to listen, then what will happen to your course? Will you be able to go and write your assignment? Of course not. So your lecturers are here to really give you the information. If you do not listen, it means you are missing out on the information. And then you know what happened? When you sit down to write an assignment, you will see that, oh my God, it's a headache. Now you will escape that time. You will escape it. You will procrastinate until it becomes really, really a crisis moment. And you need to attend to that. Oops, I have something in my eyes. You have to attend to that assignment. Okay, so it becomes really difficult then if you don't listen. And Yes, the last part is generate conclusion. So when after listening, now you can conclude what I have said. You can conclude, okay, today the lecturer has given us she has explained the 9 techniques. How do I like to listen? How do I eliminate distractions? How do I summarize? I tame my emotions. Though I'm feeling boring, but I need to listen. Feel the need to listen. Okay? So all these will help you to listen effectively during your lectures. Right? Alors, facts versus opinion is something very important in academic literacies. We are not going to be talking about opinions. We are dealing with facts. Now, what happens if in a research document, there is in his opinion, let's say Thomas, 2020, this is a reference, this is an in-text reference, okay? In his opinion, okay, it is said in that paper, the writer is referring to Thomas 2020, and he puts there, in the opinion of Thomas, it was like this. I am using that part for my assignment. So I would say, according to Thomas. Okay, according to Thomas. Right? So you see, avoid, he has put the opinion there. He has stated opinion, but I will put according to. And this is a fact. It is based on a research document. The moment it comes on a research document that has been published, considered as evidence, as facts. Okay, so be mindful of that. And we human are the worst animals. This is an opinion. We are not animals. Okay, though scientifically it is proven that our origin comes from the animals. Okay, but when we are speaking, we say the worst animals. This is opinion. It is raining today. If it is raining today. It is a fact. Okay. How to avoid making hasty judgments? Voilà, j'ai expliqué. Language and effective listening. Body language, ça j'ai expliqué. Body language and listening. Okay. Right. So this is about listening. Any question?
Yes,
Before
madam, I do have one question.
Go on.
Why do we have to use according instead of repeating the term in the opinion of? Is that because it's being referred straight to the document itself, or and we have to change the word instead of opinion to according, or is it just a term? Sorry.
We can, yeah, okay. We can use in the opinion of. We can use in the opinion of Thomas 2020. Yes, we can use that. Okay. We can say according to. We can say Thomas viewed.
Okay.
In the views of Thomas 2020, it happens like this. We can use this. But we are not giving our own opinion.
No, true. No. True. This is what you said in the first.
Yeah. Alors, this is how it is. Okay. Any other question?
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. Javed? Good? All good? Javed is doing this. So body language, it means everything is okay. Perfect. We get the message clear. Body language has power. All right. So no question on the listening skills. Listening depends on each individual. I will not be able to go deep in within each individual there to say, okay, your listening skill is this, your listening. Rate yourself, guys. Rate yourself. Remember, I think at the beginning I said, rate yourself. How do you listen? And over the days, over the lectures, etc. Now, how am I listening? Self-assessment on the listening. Great. Now let's see about the speaking. Okay, so it's manual 2. Now, where are you speaking? Where? Can you see the manual?
Yes, madam. Covering page.
Yes. Cover page only. I'm scrolling. Can you see?
No, no.
No, no
No.
scrolling, madam.
Okay, so let's stop sharing and I'll do that again. Share. Is that okay?
Yes, now it's okay, madam.
Yes. So what I'll do, I'll close a little bit of my screen that are open here. Okay, so, you know, listening is one thing, speaking is another thing. Of course, when we're listening, somebody is speaking, or there is a video that is on, or there is an audio, okay? Someone is speaking. If it is a music, a song, someone is singing, someone is playing music. There's another person on the other side, right? Now, in your manual, you will see there are videos, there are links there. You have to go through them. Okay, go through them. And if you click on that, if I click on Coursera here, right, it might not open in the browser that it takes you immediately. It might not open for certain of you. For me, it doesn't open. What I do is I copy the whole link and I paste it on Google URL, okay? And there I get the document. I get the videos. All right. So listen to those videos, go through your manual, work it out. Okay. And we are adults. So what if you're listening to a video, of course, you're learning something. And then there are questions after that. You see, there are questions. Okay. And try to work them as they ask you, the question asks you. Listening during e-learning, that's what I have done here. I have explained just now. Okay. And here there are some tips here. Now there's something called the Max Ringelmann effect. Okay, what is that? This happens when, you know, there's a tendency to believe that here we are around 90 people listening to me. Each and every one of you must be practicing active listening right now. That's one thing. Second thing, if we are working in a group, what happened? Many times when we give group work to learners, maybe your lecturers will give you group work, a group assignment. What happened in that group? Ringelmann effect. Alors, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Je sais qu'il y a 4 personnes. Yes? Je sais qu'il y a 4 personnes dans le groupe. Ah, okay. So my effort, what part I am doing? I go to the group, I said, which part is mine, please? Oh, this part is yours. Okay, fine. I go and work my part, done. What has happened? In fact, I have not given my full effort there because I knew the effort, the amount of work is shared. And despite sometimes we believe that group work can be a good thing for the students, for the learners, but in a way, when we are online, especially in this platform right now, certain of you might be thinking that, okay, you know, there are others here. So, you know, I'm not paying much attention to listen. But no, you have to pay full attention. It's as if you're alone on this platform. So the Ringelmann effect here, it's like, you know, it in a way, it doesn't put the learner to the full potential where it will demonstrate the full effort in doing a piece of work. So sometimes we need to understand this. We shouldn't be influenced by this way of behavior here. take it fully on you. Give your best, give you 100% on whatever you are listening, whatever you are taking from your lecturer. Okay, so this is about the listening. And because we, as an academic learner, at Open University, most of the time you have online lectures. But even on online lectures, we can do discussion with it. We can do group discussion. Because on Zoom, there is an option there where we can create breakout rooms. Right now, I am 80, 90 people, 89 people. For me to create breakout rooms of, let's say, 10 people, I will create a breakout room, 8 breakout rooms. And I can give you a topic to discuss. And managing that 8 group, those 8 group will be quite difficult in 2 hours. It takes time. But in a classroom with your lecturers, you might be around, let's say 40 or 50 in a room, or I don't know how many. The lecturer can do breakout rooms. And there you are put in a group to do brainstorming on a topic, discussion. That's where you need to speak. You cannot be on a table in a meeting and you do not speak. At work, when you're invited to take a seat at the table, when you're invited in the meeting room, it's an opportunity. It's a golden opportunity. You have been selected to be part of that meeting with your managers, with your team leader, with whoever it is. Don't take it for granted. Never lose a chance to express your opinion there, your ideas, your good judgment, etc. Because you have been given a chance to take a seat at the table. You don't pas rate l'occasion to express in front of your manager who you are, what ideas you can bring on table. And next time there's a big chance that you will be called upon once again. Okay, so I have seen people going on meetings, they sit there. Et they didn't speak. They went there quiet, they listened, they took note, okay, fine. And they leave the room. No, nothing. Nothing came from them. But what's the point? What's the point? We sit together to put ideas together so that we have a better solutions. We are having an issue. We want to resolve that. We have better ideas. We are being more fair to everyone, to listen to everyone, to participate, and you don't do it. That's not correct. So make sure, of course, you are prepared, but when you sit at a table, you are speaking. Javed, yes. Yes, Javed.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, in some meetings, in certain circumstances, it's better to act foolishly intelligent, because if you say something clever, more clever than your superior, it is like you will be just fired. You know, it's a question of ego sometimes, that it's better for you to stay to act foolishly intelligent than to be le clou qui dépasse
Oui,
la tête du clou qui dépasse le. Ouais.
Never outshine the master. Now, this is something that is a good point. It's true. I totally agree with you. And I'm sure many professionals here will agree with your views. It is totally true. There is there are many strategies, professional strategies that you are meant to be using to keep your place. So what you have mentioned, Javed, totally agree. If you want to keep your seat, be mindful of your words, yes, but that doesn't stop you from expressing your views, Maybe I should have used the word diplomatic. Diplomatically, you put your views forward. Okay, so you need to know how to play the game. It's a game. You all know that. Being a professional, working, it's a game. How do you play your game will determine how long you stick with the company and how much you're promoted, etc. It's an internal politics that exists. That is on the professional level. Where can you speak? Where you don't speak? That's wisdom, huh? Because not everywhere you can. I totally agree with you. Not everywhere you can just open your mouth and say something. Or sometimes you leave the others to speak, then you speak after. That is another technique. Don't be the first to speak unless you are asked to do so. Okay, so let the other person speak, let others speak, then you get then you can add a little bit on it. You're safe. Never outshine the master. This is mastery. Mastery. So if you want to keep your seat, though you know more than your boss, but never show it. Okay, these are strategies, techniques. Bon, il y a beaucoup de livres écrits sur cette affaire-là, internal politics. You can go and read about it. It exists. It's true. There are books written on it. Okay. Now, academically, let's come to our little platform here that is at the university. Forgetting about the professional side, at the university, if you sit on a group, you're asked to brainstorm, to discuss a document, a paper, a research paper. You have to speak. How do you speak? You would speak in English. You would interact with your friends, those in the group, with respect. Okay? Yes, Jawed. What else?
No, sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good. No, that's okay. So yes, you are brainstorming with your friends. Academic speaking, it is how you do it. You show respect. Listen. Listen to each member. Do not interrupt. Let him finish. Your friend has something concrete to say. His ideas or her ideas, they are as valuable as your own. Even if it doesn't make sense, you have to listen to that person. He has something to say. Listen, ask for clarification. Now you can leverage on that. So someone has put up an argument forward, okay, and you want to leverage on that. You can pick up what he has said and then you continue the discussion on that. So let's say information technology is really impacting education nowadays. Okay. Now, someone might say, yes, I totally agree with your views here because, you know, most of the students now, they are equipped with a tablet at school. They are being taught how to do coding. They are practicing coding by gaming, through gaming. You are leveraging on what your friend has said. That is why it is worth listening. Now, another one can build up on what this one has said. Okay, they are equipped with gaming, and through the gaming, they are practicing coding. Yes, because our youngsters, we need to prepare them for the future because we will be, no matter what, facing with robotization, with AI, artificial intelligence, the IoT, Internet of Things, where things and things talk, they communicate. Okay? So if we don't prepare our students now, they will not be the future generation will have problems in adapting to new technology. So you see how we have built up on that discussion. That is why it is worth listening. Good, it becomes a very concrete set of information here when we do brainstorming. and if it is done in the right, proper way, because speaking is not only speaking, it's not about arguing. Now, when we say being critical, very often I have used this word, critical reading, critical writing. Be critical when you are debating in your assignment. Compare, contrast, and critique. The critique, we are critiquing the different views of the different writers, those papers that we have used in our discussion, our assignment. That's what we are critiquing, okay? Now, when in a brainstorming, being critical means we don't start fighting with the other person. It's not personal. Nothing is personal. We are debating on a subject, on a topic. I might agree, I might disagree, but there is a way to express that. When you technique of really putting something, your disagreement on table, when you're at meetings, see, if you refute categorically, it becomes like an aggression. It becomes like a conflict to the other person. You don't refute categorically, you don't say no. Never use no. But there is another way to say no. There are many ways to say no. Now, one thing is to really appreciate the other person's views. Once you show the appreciation, then you can put your negative points behind. Then it will be well received. Comme si dirait, comme on dit, nous mettons un petit peu la crème avec lui. Okay? Là, nous capable, we can put the negative points on table. So how do we do that? You will tell the person, I understand your views, and I believe that whatever points you have put forward is right. However, in my opinion, if we consider this, it might help in having a better understanding of the topic. See, I haven't said no, your suggestion, your ideas are not totally right. This is kind of like I'm refuting, I'm opposing the other person. Don't show that. You use that technique, that strategy, that all right, you have a good point there. You have a good point, but in my opinion, it is not enough. Instead of saying, no, your point are not right. No, I disagree with you. These kind of words should be avoided. If you want to have a fruitful, productive discussion and with great information emerging from that discussion, you need to watch your words, how you speak with your team members. So be careful. So words have power. Words have power. Be careful how you use your words. Think twice before you let it go. Once it is out, it cannot be, I am collecting all my words, give them back to me. You can't do that. So think well, listen carefully, understand properly. Take your time, listen. Let the person speak. Regarde là même là, quand il y a quelqu'un qui veut poser une question. Once I have got it, I know, I can. Now the person is trying to clarify. I said, okay, I understand you. Right? Now I will go back to the person. Listen carefully. It's very important. Okay? So once you listen, the person feels valued. Number one is, you do not agree with what he is saying. You do not agree. Only on the legislation I use it wrong words. There they follow something called the Roberts Rule. The Roberts Rule is how you follow the parliamentary procedures. In a meeting, we are not talking about brainstorming academic. If I'm talking about professional meeting at companies, in companies, okay, where you are speaking, you have directors, you have a board seated here. Okay, oubliez Parlement, they are a bit rough there. I don't even appreciate the way they speak. Okay, they go very personal. That's my thing. You're not supposed to go personal in that place, because you're debating on subject matter that is affecting the country, not you personally, not your position. Okay, so that's why me too, I don't appreciate the way they do discussion on the Parliament, okay, in the Parliament, right? But one thing that we supposedly, let's take on the professional level, on a meeting, there is an order to respect. D'ailleurs, tous les boards, they have a charter document, no? Those who work in the professional level, all board meetings, they are conducted by a charter document. So the charter document will state, of course, who are part of the board, what is their role, etc., etc., what are the qualifications, etc., etc., and how do we manage board meetings. Et là, what's the rule? What's the rule? Our board. Okay. When we talk about parliament, each companies, they have their own board rules. Huh? They follow their own procedures. But when we talk about parliament, they follow the parliamentary rules, parliamentary procedures. So there is a speaker who will, order. So he's following the parliamentary rules, okay, parliamentary procedures, Robert's rule, right? It's a lawful thing, it's a legal thing, need to respect. So even on a discussion, on a brainstorming, okay, the purpose, the reason why discussion of importance there, it's we're discussing about a subject topic, an area. We are not going personal. There's nothing personal in that discussion. Okay, we are exploring ideas, we're exchanging information, we are clarifying our knowledge, because there might be some doubt. I was not too clear about this topic, but having discussed it with you guys, wow, now I can understand it properly. So it's good to be true. You don't understand. Tell them, you know what, I have been trying to read this and I had difficulty to understand it. Maybe here I can get some clarification from you guys. How do you see this paragraph? How do you see the author's views here? It's good to be true, transparent, clear. What is your difficulty? And your group can help you get out of that doubt that you are having. Language, keep it in English. Why? Because if we start speaking in Creole or whatever, it can turn out to become another dimension. Okay, we don't want any discussion to go rough. So keep it in English. Speak with confidence. Means if you don't know, you don't know. If you haven't done the reading, well, guys, you know what? Excuse me for that. My apologies. I really didn't have time to read that part, but I have read the first part. If we can, I can explain the first part, and if someone has read the second part, please take that over. Be frank, and people appreciate frankness. I appreciate honesty. I appreciate truth. Okay, and if you're honest and true, we will not penalize you. Okay, you have done some work, but you didn't do this one. Fine. Who has done it? Okay, you take up that part. That's how it should be. It's a consensus. Everything happens in agreement. Don't fight. Don't argue personal. We are arguing, we are debating on a subject matter. And yes, in a discussion, just like you have an attitude of listening, for listening, the attitude for listening is I go to a seminar with a positive attitude. No matter who is speaking, my attitude to listening is there. I'm going to listen to that person. Even if I do not like him, I will listen to what he's saying. That is an attitude of listening, right? Same, your attitude and that you express in a group discussion is very important. Attitude, what is attitude, vous êtes? Tu nous causes attitude maintenant. Everywhere we talk about attitude. Companies says we hire on qualification. but we fire on attitude. Pas vrai? We hire on qualification and experience, but we fire on attitude. When it comes to fire you, it's not your qualification, it's not your experience, it's your attitude that makes you get fired from the company. Why is attitude so important? And what is attitude? Beaucoup de gens ne comprennent pas c'est quoi l'attitude. Je t'en parler attitude, they just use it. Right? Keeping a positive attitude is very important. It means even if someone is being like very criticizing or negative, you see the person is throwing negative ideas on the table, etc. Keeping a positive attitude is, yes, keeping your cool, don't react. But you are trying to see the good thing in that. Why is he saying this? Why is he in that mood? Attitude should come before aptitude. Yes. Your skill, your aptitude comes second. Yeah, agree. Yes. So attitude is very important everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. You are meeting your family, you are meeting your friends over a cup of coffee, you are meeting for lunch, you are in a meeting on a meeting table with your managers, you are here discussing topics at brainstorming, discussion level at the university. Attitude is very important. So keep a positive attitude. I would say only this. A discussion can change your attitudes and ideas. Ça aussi arrivé. Look, I had an attitude that this was, I took it that way. But the way my colleagues, my friends have put their ideas, now I am changing my way of saying that thing. What is attitude, in fact? The way we take it. Someone says something to us. Let's say somebody you don't even know, you have never spoken to, and the person passes you a compliment. Say, wow, you look beautiful today. Your attitude towards that, what is it? You either go quiet on it, you either respond to the person, oh, thank you, or you either go about really giving that person a good lesson. Why did you do that? Do I know you? Oh, yeah, who the hell are you? Okay. How do we react to certain things? It depends on how we took it, how we have taken it. It's our attitude. So keep a positive attitude. And now your attitude, your thinking, your way of saying certain things can change when you do a brainstorming session, a discussion. I like group discussion because you always get something to learn from your friends, no matter what. No matter what it is, someone has something to say that is going to help you. So be positive, listen, and be part of the discussion. See what comes out of it. Discussion gives you the chance to hear the thoughts and ideas of others. Now, the good thing about listening is you allow the person to speak and you learn. In lecturing, I personally, online, I disagree about one thing because I did not hear the students. I am the only one speaking. And I would have loved to interact with you, but we cannot do it as we would have done it in a classroom here. All of us, I can pick one person to speak, I can see the other person. It's totally different. But when you get to do a discussion, do it, interact, listen, listen to the ideas and make the most of it. Okay, so discussions are one place in academic literacy, in academic courses where you speak. Where else you speak? You speak when you do presentations. You have a presentation, okay? Where do you speak? Now, there are some videos here which you need to watch, and then you need to address these questions. Now, when you speak over a presentation, Now, what comes in your mind when you hear presentation? What comes in your mind when you hear presentation?
Public speaking.
Lots of
Public
people.
speaking. Lots of people in front of you. Yes.
People are waiting you. Yeah.
Yes. You have to present in front of many people. That's one thing. Second thing, what comes in your mind? Tell me. Okay, you're chatting.
You should be
PowerPoint.
very fluent.
Yes. But the word is here. PowerPoint. Comment dire présentation? PowerPoint. Yes, apart from you should be fluent, you should be able to express yourself, you should be able to speak, you should know your topic, you should know who is there to listen to you. And then you have something called PowerPoint. Whoever is thinking about PowerPoint when it comes to a presentation, I would say change that thinking, shift your paradigm, shift your mindset from that. Not every presentation means a PowerPoint. Standing and speaking, expressing yourself, that is presentation. Why not? I am speaking here. I didn't bring PowerPoint today. I said I will go through your manual. I have the manual here. You all have it. With just speaking, I am expressing myself. I'm presenting the lecture. I am lecturing you. I'm giving you the information that you need. That is presentation. Now, that thing called PowerPoint. Let me tell you guys, whether you are going for a presentation at work, whether you are going for a presentation at, I don't know, at a seminar, etc. What do? You start preparing for PowerPoint. So your PowerPoint comes first, and then you are behind. C'est ça, non? PowerPoint là devant. Et puis, I am at the back. I am talking behind the PowerPoint, and you call it a presentation. Now, the worst thing is I am reading PowerPoint and I'm presenting. No, wrong. Totally wrong. Many professionals, they have this wrong approach towards presentation. But I would say you are the presenter. You. Then when you're presenting, certain information need to have visual presentation. It has to be presented visually because our audience, some of them are auditory. They are very good at listening. Some of them are very good at visualizing. So if you give them something visual, it will add on to their auditory. But what do? You want all your auditory listeners, all your audience who can listen to you, you force them to visualize your PowerPoint. Because you are focusing mostly 80% c'est PowerPoint. Allons dire 99% c'est PowerPoint. 1% is me, the one who is presenting. It's a totally wrong approach. So when you present, last time, yesterday, not later than yesterday, I was talking about this with my students at university. They say I say you have to do a presentation and you'll be marked on that. Okay, same question. What comes in your mind? PowerPoint, miss. And then you will present after. You need to have the power. Oui. Yes. See, when you are about to present at university, number one thing is you're going to speak. Number one, your speaking skills, your communication skills. you know presentation skills, you know body language, you know how to express yourself. It's you. Then you will be asking your question, what is the topic that I'm going to present? The lecturer has given us a topic. Okay, let's say child labor. Child labor, those who do social work. How governments are tackling child labor across the world. Of course, you will need a PowerPoint because child labor, you want to bring to the audience some statistics, charts. Which country has the highest rate of child labor? Bring that in a pie chart. Visual. Good. But the visual, it's not like you will put the visual first and then you second. Change the approach. You come first. You speak about the topic and then the visual accompany what you are speaking. You see the difference? Visual, you are speaking from the visual. You are secondary. But when you speak, you take the topic, you come forward to the audience, you're explaining what is it, and then you show the visual. It's an add-on to your presentation. So PowerPoint is always an added value to your audience. You get the point? It's an added value. Means if I tell you that the rate of child labor in India is the highest across the world as compared to in, let's say, UK. Okay? Now the trend has been increasing in India. And okay, trend, right? Okay, you're speaking. But I would have loved to see the trends on a chart, on a bar chart, maybe. In the year, then you will talk about, now you want to tell me over which period the trends have been on the rising, they have been increasing. When is that? So you have a chart. So in order to let you know, to tell you more about the trends, I have this chart for you. So here's a chart that expresses a trend. As you can see, it's very steep. It has increased drastically. We've seen the word drastically earlier. And you see how it has increased. So what is happening now? I told them that the trend is on the rise in India. But what I'm doing now, I present the visual to enable them to understand more. I allow my audience to understand me clearly. Now, the other thing is about presentation. When you go for presentation, what happened? The whole, I don't know, you will do the PowerPoint till 2 o'clock in the morning. That's one thing. Tomorrow is a presentation. The other thing is, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Oh, what they will think about me. Oh, how am I going to talk? Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, the whole focus is on me, 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 me. When the focus is on you, you are creating more tension on you. You are making yourself stressful. You're stressing yourself because you're focusing on you, on yourself. Oh, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that presentation, you know, and there are negative talks, self-talks. Okay, now, I don't know, I have to present this. Look, we all get those self-talks, but it shouldn't dominate you that much. It shouldn't be like, comment dire, écrasé, comme on dit, hein? It shouldn't be like this. You know your knowledge, you're knowledgeable, you know the content. Have you read? Have you prepared? Yes. You know the content. Can you speak? Yes, I can speak. When you do presentation, of course, you have to speak the academic English, but that doesn't mean you have to bring bombastic words, comment nous dire, tout ban grand mots. No. Be Be simple. Use simple English. Use English that I can understand. Speak in a way that I can understand. If you're bringing some research, tell me which research it is. So now I am going to refer to a research that was done in 2022 by someone called this name. And that research, I'll tell you briefly what it is about. But what I have thought of bringing to you here is that part, because it really relates to the topic and which is of great importance. Why is it important, that part? What have I done here? I have conversed with my audience. I have brought my originality, my naturalness, that's what it is. Now, instead of putting a statement on your PowerPoint and then reading that statement as it is, creating tension on you, and at the same time you miss out one word on that PowerPoint, you are creating tension on yourself. Be natural. What I am saying, when you are presenting, instead of focusing on yourself, focus on the audience. So the second shift that you do is really shift your focus to the audience. What am I bringing for them? What are they expecting from me? Am I preparing for them? Or am I preparing to show, wow, how I present? Yes, you will be marked on how you're presenting, but at the same time, if the lecturer is sitting on the side of the audience, if you haven't been able to convince the lecturer to make him understand, where does a marking go? It is from both sides. How are you as a presenter? And how are you delivering your message to your audience? How much can they understand? Test your presentation on your group of friends before you go for that big presentation. Test it. Okay? Yes, if you have time to test it, you test it. One day I was assigned to be an MC at an event. And being an MC, for me, it's not a big problem. Okay, it's not a problem. But the thing is, I had to be an MC in front of some great officials, okay, in front of the embassy of Japan, Japanese embassy, in front of consultants that are coming from Japan. Being an MC there, where I will be leaving the floor to the Japanese consultant to speak, to do demonstrations, etc. Okay, so preparing for that moment, I can't just say, okay, I am going for my MC role now, tomorrow, and fine. I haven't checked the venue. I haven't checked my slides. I didn't, d'ailleurs, MC pas servi slide. So I don't have any slides, but I have my script. And guys, of course, on the eve, I need to review my script. I need to tell my colleagues, hey, come on, just check if I say this, is that okay? Okay. So I need to do some practice. So before going for a presentation, it's worth checking with your friends. How do you feel I am presenting this? What's lacking? What do you think I need to improve on? If you don't do any of these, and of course, je peux trembler quand je fais la présentation. If you do not do any of these, you do not prepare well, you are going for not an excellent presentation. So prepare a techniques, change your focus, not me, but what I have for them. Of course, if I deliver well for them, that will score me the marks. Trouvé? Good. So everything that I've explained here is here, okay? Voila. How do we conduct discussion? The discussion etiquettes I have explained, right? Voila. Netiquettes. How do we carry ourselves? The set of rules about behavior that is acceptable on the internet, Zoom. If you put your camera on all the time on the meeting, I would say it's not good. If you go on a meeting with your company, whatever, it is good to put your camera on, unless they tell you, turn off your cameras. Okay? Turn off your camera. For example, when we have a speech contest, it is a rule. When the speaker is speaking, all cameras must be off to avoid any distraction. Whereas on a face-to-face, if someone is speaking, everyone is present. C'est pas que la salle vide. No. So we're all present, fully present physically. Alors, unless it is said to do otherwise you need to respect the rule of netiquette, etc. Avoid jokes, respect, avoid commenting, avoid chatting, avoid using aggressive tone on the videos, okay? And when you are not speaking, mute yourself so as not to disrupt the flow of the meeting. Tout ça, don't be rude when you're responding. Show humility. Don't overreact. No need to overreact on a meeting. It's just a one meeting, 40 minutes. Why do you have to overreact? Why do you have to get angry? Why do you have to be upset? Keep your cool. We are discussing. Everyone is present. Everyone's ideas matter. And we need to reach a consensus. It will happen. Okay? Like our friends have said, if you want to keep your seat, sometimes you need to play the game wisely. Not every time you have to speak, as in a professional level. I mean, here you can speak, but of course you need to show respect. And what else? Now, this is something that you can observe. What does this figure show? Last time there was il y avait une émission sur ça. They were explaining this on TV. Okay? So, yeah, the artist, the one who designed this, who did that artist, is an artist. Do you know who it is? It's a long name. Yeah. So he has brought contrast. How, for example, he brought an artwork where it demonstrated how people will not will disagree with certain thing in life, you know, how people behave, etc. Okay. For example, there was some artwork about gay people, you know. So how people view these, and he has tried to demonstrate that, you know, in his artwork about certain areas about sex, for example. So, yeah, someone is chatting with me. Salvador Dali. Oui. Sûr ça? Tu pourrais être le nom, hein? Yeah. So did you watch that émission? You did.
I didn't watch the TV, but I know the artist.
You know,
it's very often, I mean, nowadays youngsters are very addicted, I should say, to that kind of art.
Yes, yes. So he has tried to bring that out. Things that we try to avoid, okay? But that artist is not well viewed, okay? He's not well viewed by people, yeah. Okay, so that is, what are we trying to depict here from this? It's not always what we believe in, what we want to hear. Sometimes we come up with certain kind of perception in our mind. I want to hear yes, but in that discussion, you must be prepared to hear no. We come up with our own judgment, and our judgment might lead to bias. So we need to put that thing aside, because in a group discussion, everyone's ideas have value. Okay, so if we put our judgment aside, we will be able to accept the views. For example, this artist, what's wrong? Okay, in his opinion, in his way of viewing things, he's trying to put that photo there. He's an artist. While you will get Van Gogh putting artwork out there in his mind, imagination, he's creating some artwork that is fully accepted, but here, because this person thinks differently, we look at this artwork with certain kind of judgment, okay? But there is something called, let's respect the views and opinion of the other, okay? We are not the same. Each one has their own opinion, but where do we draw the line? We don't impose. We don't impose our judgment. We don't impose our ideas. We are not the best. Neither the other one is the best. But we reach a consensus. Chacun se l'idée, on met ça ensemble, we reach a consensus that is fair and just to everyone. Everyone feel they have been part of the discussion. Everyone feel that they were respected, their ideas were valued, and then we come up with a decision in the end that is okay for everyone. Okay, that's how we can work together. Si nous pour impose nous ban l'idée, là pas bien correct. Okay, so listening, academic writing, again, you have written an assignment. I've seen it. All right. Not bad. How do you bring that writing into your coursework, into your module, your topic, your subject? This is academic writing. Okay. It is said that the narrative style is not too allowed. It is not allowed to narrate. Do not narrate. Que veut dire narrate? Hein? There's a story, I am narrating that story. See the example here. It's a narration. When we met for our first tape recorded research conversation, we revisited our research intention. Okay? And there is we. You see the subject we? We do not use narration. We use paraphrasing. We use summarizing. Okay? Donc, fais attention. We take the facts as they are. Okay? Descriptive style of writing. Yes, we do describe. But when we describe, we are supporting our description with evidences. For example, when we analyze, we are analyzing. Regarde bien. Disons qu'on a à écrire sur un topic, dis-moi n'importe un topic, vous êtes, l'esprit n'est plus capable de trouver topic là. Dis-moi un topic, n'importe un topic que vous pouvez étudier, vous êtes? Qui topic vous pouvez étudier là? N'importe qui côté? N'importe qui module?
Censorship. Censorship. Censorship.
Censorship. It's
Media
from which? Hein?
And media ethics.
Media
Censorship.
ethics. Censorship
Yes.
and media ethics. Okay, media ethics. Now, this is the topic. Media ethics is the main topic. Correct? In media ethics now, there are many areas, many subtopics that are considered part of ethics. One of them is censorship. Vous pouvez bien dire là? Okay? Now, it is very specific. If you have to write about censorship, you cannot just take censorship et non, commence travailler le censorship. You need to start with what is the key, what is the umbrella, under what comes censorship. Censorship is part of media ethics. Media ethics is part of media, of journalism, of communication. You need to tell the reader where you are taking that censorship from. You need to give the reader an overview. You need to tell the reader censorship is part of media ethics. Media ethics consists of several various factors that constitute the ethics. And one of these is censorship. Now the literature based on that. Now, what is it about censorship? Is it to what extent censorship is being demonstrated in media? Give me a question. Give me a question. How would you analyze censorship? Analysis of the extent to which censorship is part of media ethics. An analysis on the extent to which censorship has its significance in media ethics. The extent to which it is being respected, it is being observed. Okay? So when I say the extent or an analysis, I am saying to what extent it is there, to what extent it is not there. Tous les deux côtés. À quel point ça existe, à quel point we tend to forget it. We tend to dismiss it. Intentionally or unintentionally. When I'm talking about this topic, I need to give an introduction of what is ethics, what is media ethics. Then I will introduce censorship. Then I will say how censorship is viewed on the overall. Then I'll come to my literature. And there I will tell the reader how, to what extent censorship is viewed, etc. Will this paper demonstrate that it is being given attention, or is it being neglected? Okay? What is my paper saying? That will reflect on my introduction. Forget about the introduction. Let's talk about the literature. Literature, d'abord, I will put a paragraph, media ethics. Second, I will talk about the different type of ethics, and one of them is censorship. Censorship, I will, pour commencer, qu'est censorship en mots. Okay, que faire? I want to bring literatures where censorship is given a lot of attention, where in which cases censorship was used correctly, or in which cases censorship were not used correctly. Par exemple, quand nous get ban, par exemple, nous get advertisement, especially for perfumes. Okay? Right? What are we trying to depict? What are we trying audience to see? Ça, c'est debatable, ça. Yes or no? Yeah? So how do we, not only that, not only on advertisement, but also the information that we are giving. For example, right now, as we hear, very sensitive information are being aired openly. Je connais qui département me peut causer dans le pays. Okay? We have all seen those media, information being released openly comme ça. Okay? Where is censorship there? Yes, perfume, Chanel. So I think there are many cases which you can pick on research that have really talked about censorship and where it has been used correctly and where it has been used wrongly. And from those literatures, you will be able to analyze now. When you analyze, which case are you taking? Which case study are you taking to analyze? When you analyze, you're going to link it with your literature. And then you're going to conclude and recommend. Descriptive, very descriptive literature. With comparing, contrasting, and commenting, not commenting, compare, contrast, and critique. From data and observation, you are collecting literatures. Okay? So this is the approach. I say, if you know what is the topic, you know what it is, and you know. Tu connais, elle a fait qu'appelle research onion. Allez là. Onion, c'est un oignon. OK? D'ailleurs, quand nous prenons un oignon, nous réfléchissons, il y a les mêmes. Non? OK? Research onion, quand je peux étudier ça, research onion, là, sondeuse. OK? Alors, je peux trouver comment nous approche un assignment and research. OK? Donc, ça va vous aider. Alors, how do you write? How do you show? Now, something that I want to explain here is about how do you interpret charts. Écoutez, il y a deux choses dans charts. One is you are describing as it is là, as you see this chart here. Pizzas, they are the blue line. Fish and chips, they are the red lines. And hamburgers, they are the green ones. Okay. My analysis of this chart. First instance, okay, I need to write about this chart. So visually, I can say here that the consumption of hamburgers have risen from 1975 to 1985. It has been on constant rise. And after the 1985 to year 2000, it has declined. Okay, and it seems to have, it appears, it is as per the chart, not seems, not appears, but as per the chart, there is a constant, it is constant, no? It is stable, it is constant from around 1995, let's say 1998 to 2000, la ligne à droite, okay? This is my observation, my first observation. Now, doing an analytical analysis of this chart will mean I am comparing and I'm contrasting. What am I comparing? As compared to the consumption of hamburgers, okay? Consumption of hamburgers, as compared to consumption of hamburgers, the consumption of fish and chips have dropped considerably from 1985 to year 2000. And the trend is on the decline. Okay? Now what I'm doing, I'm comparing and contrasting. So when you analyze chart, when you put a chart in your assignment, you will do two things there. You will interpret the chart as it is, and then you will go deeper by comparing and contrasting the chart, the figures, by giving the reader more information. So make sure, if in the exams you get a chart, you get a bar chart, you get a chart like this, you get a pie chart. First is to describe the chart as it is. What do you see? Second is try to compare, contrast, and critique. Go deep into it. Okay, so that is what I have to tell you. Manual 1, pay attention to what is paraphrasing, what is summarizing, what is referencing, what is subjective and objective. Okay, pay attention, go and master your manual, look at your manual. Remember how you paraphrase, how you summarize. Normally, when we summarize, pas capable de donner un texte comme ça. Quand je summarize, je demande un texte comme ça. C'est pas correct. Summarizing means the text must be smaller. You're giving me the main point. You're summarizing. Do I add reference in summarizing? Yes. Do I put the author name? Yes. Do I put the year? Yes. Do I put the page number in summarizing? No. I don't include the page number. I will not include the inverted commas as quotations. I will paraphrase. I will summarize. I do not have to maintain the same order as it is when I'm summarizing. The order of the ideas. I do not have to maintain the same order when I'm summarizing. So all these you have to pay attention. Okay, I need to end the class because there's a lecturer who have written to me and said, I'm taking the time of the other lecturer. So what I need to tell you now is I wish you all the best on your lectures, on your other modules. Keep up that rule and principles of academic writing. Blend your module with the academic literacy. Don't write just for the sake of the content, but put the academic writing into it. Pay attention to paraphrasing, referencing. One question that somebody asked me, do I use the referencing for the Open University or do I use the one that I have sent you? You use for the Open University, please. Use the referencing that has been set on the module for Open University. Follow that referencing style. Okay? And what else? That's all.
Madam, sorry, this is our
Sorry.
session. No? This will be our last session.
This is your last session, yes. But if there is any request, then I will have to make it official. I know I did additional session which was not official, and we did it for the sake of the students, for them to understand how to tackle the assignment, etc. I've done like 3 sessions that was not official. But if you are requesting for more sessions, then I think you will have to make an official request. Then we can add that into the sessions. But anyway,
Okay.
I think all that we have done is more than enough for you to prepare for the exams. I'm saying it again, exams will not be out of your manual. Tous les principes, toutes les méthodes vont être pareilles. Simplement, le content, I will change. I will not copy and paste and case comme il était dans le manuel. Là, on met ça dans le papier d'examen. Non, 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 non. But the principles, the rules. Let's say I say paraphrase the text. You know the rule of paraphrasing. What is it? Keep the same meaning, keep the author, keep the original text, show the respect to the author, keep the year. Okay? You can use the quote, certain. Yeah?
Do you think we need to revise like the qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods, all the things?
These things won't come out because it came out on your assignment.
Okay. So whatever has come on our assignment won't come out.
No.
Okay.
So it's the nitty-gritty things, you know, that those very tricky things, little things on your manual. Maybe
like
on
what?
your
Like what?
Like what? I have mentioned a lot of things today. Today's session says it all. But I cannot say what is coming out.
Yes, of course, yes.
Je ne vais pas dire ça.
Of course.
Il n'est pas ethical on my part. Okay. How the paper will be set? It has already been set, my dear. It is set around like 5 questions, but then I am set like to understand right now. I have set the paper. I am looking for feedback from the moderator. Okay, there is something we are going to give you choice. So maybe one question compulsory and the rest is you have a choice. But how are they going to work it out now? I have set the questions already. How they are working on that paper, I will let you know. They haven't given me any feedback yet. It's not a difficult paper. It's not a difficult paper. It's only about everything that is in your manual. Master your manual. Manual is not that difficult, no? I cannot give you an assignment to write on the exam. Ça, c'est pas les faire. Assignment box, you will get it. You will get it soon. I am already working on it. So I know I had to submit that quite in 2 weeks. They say I need to submit, but it's a lot there. Pena and faculty visit. Get la même comme du monde 63, mais ça tu dis ça. Il y a plus que ça. On a à peu près Plus que 100, 40, voilà. Yeah. Okay, guys, so that you don't join your class late, next one. Thank you very much. Yes, all of you have worked well. I am not penalizing or downgrading everyone. No. No, dear, no past paper. C'est ça le problème. C'est ça que je vous explique là. Academic literacy is the first time they have introduced this. And it's a first module for every one of you. And you're the first learners. Okay? Now they are trying to bring that on others. Okay, so as a first learner, you are not only our learners who have been through that challenge, but you have given us direction also, how we can do better, how we can improve on that module for our next batch of learners. So be mindful that you are not going to be penalized for, all right? In fact, you're paving the way for future learners.
Goodbye.
I didn't use that word. You're using it. All right, then. So it was a pleasure for me to work with you, all professionals and students here. I wish you all the best. Keep up the good way of writing. Remember academic literacy when you're writing your assignment. Be critical, use the phrases, compare, contrast critiques. Don't use your own opinion there. Don't be subjective, be objective, and make sure respect the rules of paraphrasing and summarizing, respect the grammar. What else? So I just wish you do well in your courses and all the best for your success. And I'm sure you will have a great experience with other lecturers as well. Okay, so take care. I am here. If you have anything, you can ask me, and I will be putting information, any update regarding the exams, etc. on the Moodle. We are still keeping in touch on Moodle. Okay, so take care. Bye-bye, and have a nice day. Rush for your class.
Merci, madame.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, and take care of your health as well, Nicoline.
Thank you.
En citronnelle.
Colleen, okay,
Natural. Bye, Joey. Okay. Laurine, bye. I can see you. Laurine, dia dernier jour, dit laisse-les, il paraît, un coup de l'écran.
Oui. Je dressais mes cheveux et tout, voilà.
Non, ça marche. Okay, good. So, enjoy your learning. Bye-bye, take care. And all the best for the exams.
Merci, madame.
Okay, good.